Hello students, in second part of electrostatic potential, we will discuss about electric potential due to system of charges. Electric potential is a scalar quantity. So if there is a system of charges, then the electric potential due to a group of charges at any point is equal to the algebraic sum of the electric potential due to each charges separately at that point. Now let us consider here a system having small n charges q1, q2, q3 and so on qn, and we have to determine the electric potential at point P due to this system of charges. Distances of these charges from point P are r1, r2, r3 and so on Rn respectively. So the resultant potential at point P will be the algebraic sum of all the potentials due to these charges separately, that is V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus and so on Vn. Now potential due to first charge Q1 at point P will be 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 by R1 plus due to second charge Q2 by R2 plus and so on due to nth charge Qn by Rn. We can write this potential in the form of summation as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 summation I is equal to 1 to n qi by Ri. If the distribution of charge is continuous, then this potential can be written as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0. This summation is changed into integration. So we have integral dq by small r. Here dq is the differential element of charge and r is the distance from the point where potential is to be determined. We will consider special cases as number 1, if charge is distributed continuously over an area capital A. In that case dq is equal to sigma dA. I have considered here area capital A and charge is distributed on this area uniformly. So if I have considered here a small element dq of charge, then this dq is equal to sigma dA, and I want to determine the electric potential at point P at a distance small r from this differential element of charge. So V is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 integral, in place of dq I have to write sigma dA upon small r. Now if charge is distributed continuously over volume V, then in that case dq is equal to rho dV. In that case V is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 integral rho dV by small r. Next we will discuss electric potential due to electric dipole. First, potential at an axial point of the dipole. Let us consider a dipole and we have to determine the electric potential at point P at a distance small r from the center of this dipole. So first we determine electric potential at point P due to this plus charge, then electric potential due to minus charge, and then we find out the algebraic sum of both these potential at point P to obtain the resultant potential. So electric potential at point P due to this plus charge, this electric potential will be V1 is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 k q upon r minus L, because the distance of q from P is r minus L. Electric potential at point P due to charge this minus q will be V2 is equal to minus 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 k q upon r plus L, because the distance of minus charge from point P is r plus L, and also we know that potential due to negative charge is negative and potential due to positive charge is positive. Therefore the resultant electric potential at point P will be V is equal to V1 plus V2. This will be 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 k q 1 upon r minus L, this one minus 1 upon r plus L. I have taken the common portion outside this bracket. So V is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 k into q. Solve this portion inside the bracket. You will get 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 k q into 2L upon r square minus L square. Q into 2L is equal to small p. So this will become 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 k p upon r square minus l square. Now if this distance small r is very much greater than this distance small l, in that case r square will be very much greater than this l square, and we can neglect l square in comparison to r square. In such condition, we can write v is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 k p upon r square. This is potential due to a dipole at a point small p from the center of this dipole. Next I will discuss electric potential due to an electric dipole on the equatorial line of the dipole. Let us consider a dipole AB and a point P at a distance small r from point O of the center of the dipole. This point is lying in the equatorial line of the dipole, and we have to determine electric potential at point P. So we first determine the electric potential at point P due to this plus q charge. Then we will determine electric potential at point P due to this minus q charge, and then we add both these potentials to get the resultant potential at point P. So first, electric potential at point P due to charge plus q. It will be V1 is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 k q upon under root r square plus l square. Here the distance of this charge plus q from point P is under root r square plus l square. Similarly, the distance of charge minus q from point P is also under root r square plus l square. Now the electric potential due to this minus charge at point P is equal to minus 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 k q upon under root r square plus l square. Electric potential due to negative charge is negative, and hence here comes a negative sign. Therefore the resultant electric potential at point P, V is equal to V1 plus V2. We will add these potentials, so we get 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 k q upon under root r square plus l square minus q upon under root r square plus l square. These both the terms cancel out, and you will get here 0. So the resultant potential at point P in the equatorial position due to this electric dipole will be 0. Now if the point is situated neither in axial position nor in equatorial position, it is situated in some other position, that is we may say that is in any general position, then how we will determine electric potential due to a dipole? Here we will consider potential at any point in the plane of the dipole. Here is a dipole AB, and P is a point in any general position of the dipole. The distance of this point from charge plus q is r1, and distance of this point P from charge minus q is r2. The distance of point P from the center of the dipole is small r. I have drawn these perpendiculars BN and AM on this line PM. This angle is theta, so this angle will be also theta, and the distance of each charge from the center of dipole is small l. Now we want to determine the electric potential at point P. Here also we have to adopt the same procedure. First we will determine the electric potential due to charge plus q at point P, then due to minus charge at point P, and then we add both these potentials to get the resultant potential at point P due to this electric dipole. Now first the electric potential at point P due to this charge plus q will be V1 is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 k q upon Pb. Here the distance of charge plus q from point P is Pb. Now similarly the electric potential at point P due to charge minus q. So the distance of charge minus q from point P is AP, we may write here AP. Also potential due to negative charge is negative, so here will be a negative sign. Therefore the resultant potential at point P, this will be V1 plus V2. You will get Q upon 4 pi epsilon 0 K 1 upon PV minus 1 upon AP. Now we will determine the values of PV and AP by using geometry from this figure. Electric dipole is very small here, and therefore this distance PV can be taken as equal to Pn, and this distance Pn can be obtained as OP minus ON. Means this distance minus this distance, you will get this distance. So OP minus ON. OP is equal to small r, this distance OP is small r, and you have to determine this distance ON. This distance can be obtained by this triangle. This is a right angle triangle, this angle is theta, this angle is 90 degree. From this right angle triangle, you can obtain ON is equal to L cos theta. So this will be R minus L cos theta. Similarly, we can determine AP, this distance. AP can be nearly taken to be PM, and PM is equal to OP plus OM. OP is equal to small r, and OM can be obtained from this right angle triangle. It is obtained to be L cos theta. So OP is equal to R and OM is L cos theta. So it will be R plus L cos theta. Now we will substitute the values of PV and AP in this equation number 3. We get V is equal to Q upon 4 pi epsilon 0 K 1 upon R minus L cos theta minus 1 upon R plus L cos theta. We will take LCM and solve this equation. We will get Q upon 4 pi epsilon 0 K 2L cos theta upon R square minus L square cos square theta. Q into 2L will be written as P. So we get V is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 K P cos theta upon R square minus L square cos square theta. Now you can easily observe that this distance small r is very much greater than this distance ON or OM, which is equal to L cos theta. Therefore the square of this distance means R square will be very much greater than the square of this distance, that is L square cos square theta, and hence L square cos square theta here in this equation can be neglected in comparison to this R square, and we get equation V is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 K P cos theta by R square. Next is electric field as gradient of potential. Here let us consider a charge plus Q which is situated at point O. Due to this charge, I have considered electric field along the direction of x-axis. Now we have considered 2 points A and B at distance small r and small r plus dr from point O, where dr is infinitely small. The potential of this point A is capital V and the potential of point B is V minus dV. The external force required to move a charge Q0 against this electric field capital E will be F is equal to minus Q0E, and so the work done in bringing or the work done in moving this charge plus Q0 from point B to A inside this electric field E will be dWBA is equal to F dr. We will substitute the value of F minus Q0E dr. From the definition of potential difference, we can write VA minus VB is equal to dWBA upon Q0. We will substitute the value of dWBA, that is minus Q0 ER upon Q0. and the value of VA, which is the potential at point A, and I have assumed it to be capital V. We will substitute V here, and VB, the potential at point B, which I have considered to be V minus dV. I will substitute V minus dV in place of VB. Then solve this equation. We will get dV is equal to minus E dr. From this equation, E is equal to minus dV by dr. From this equation, you can observe that here the quantity dV by dr is known as potential gradient. Thus, the intensity of electric field at a point is equal to the negative of potential gradient in that direction. Here the negative sign indicates that the value of potential decreases in the direction of electric field. Electric potential is a scalar quantity, while potential gradient is a vector quantity. Its direction is opposite to the direction of electric field. Next is equipotential surfaces. The surfaces drawn in an electric field at which potential is same at all the points is known as equipotential surfaces. Example, let us consider a positive charge. Now we draw a spherical surface around this charge of different radius. Each spherical surface will behave like a equipotential surface. So, as from definition, we have potential on any of these surface as constant throughout the surface and will remain same. But it will be different from another surface. The potential at other surface will be different, but it will remain same throughout the surface. So, for any equipotential surface, we have VA is equal to VB. I have considered this surface and considered 2 points A and B here on this surface. So, for these 2 points we have VA is equal to VB. Therefore, we may write VA minus VB is equal to 0. Therefore, the work done in bringing any charge Q0 from point A to B on any equipotential surface WAB is equal to Q0 into VA minus VB, which is equal to 0. So, work done is 0. That is, the work done in bringing any charge from one point to another on any equipotential surface is always 0. As you may see that electric lines of forces are always perpendicular to the equipotential surfaces. The surfaces of all the charged conductors are equipotential surfaces.